I skipped college to help raise my younger brother after our mom left. I took night shifts to pay for his tuition, bought his first car, even missed my own wedding to bail him out of jail. This morning, he posted a photo with a caption, "Built myself from nothing. No handouts." I called him. He sent me a voice note saying, "I'm not gonna thank you forever. You didn't save me. You just stalled your own life." That night, I made a list, and at the top was, I was folding his clothes when I saw it. Yeah, his clothes. Still doing that after everything. He crashed on my couch again last night. Said he needed a place just for a couple days. He's said that before. It's always longer. I never really say no. Habit, I guess. Anyway, I was folding a hoodie of his that still smelled like some girl's perfume. Tossed it on the couch. My phone buzzed on the table. Instagram notification. His handle popped up. He tagged himself at some car rental place. Picture of him standing next to a white sports car, sunglasses on, chin up like he's auditioning for something. Caption? Built myself from nothing. No handouts. Earned, not given. I just stared at it. My stomach felt weird, like it had just dropped. I scrolled the comments. People hyping him up. Friends from high school writing stuff like, "Proud of you, bro," and "This is the glow-up we needed." Some girl I'd never heard of called him self-made. And he liked it. I don't even know how long I sat there, reading that. I couldn't move. I just kept thinking, is this what he really believes? Because here's what he didn't post. I skipped college to stay home with him after our mom left.
He was 13.
I was 18. I was supposed to leave for state school that fall. I didn't even tell anyone I declined. I worked nights stocking shelves and days working construction, just to keep food in the house. I gave him my savings so he could go to community college. When his car broke down, I sold mine and walked to work so he could keep driving. He got arrested at 20 for shoplifting beer with some friends. I left my own wedding rehearsal dinner to drive 6 hours to get him out of jail. When he cried and said, "I don't have anyone else," I hugged him and told him, "You've got me." Every time he screwed up, I cleaned it up. Every time he needed help, I gave it. Every time he fell apart, I held it together. And now he's out there acting like he did all this on his own? So I called him. Didn't even know what I was going to say. I just needed to hear his voice. Ask him why. He didn't pick up. 10 minutes later, I got a voice note. I played it on speaker. He said, flat voice, no emotion, "I'm not gonna thank you forever. You didn't save me. You just stalled your own life." I swear the room went silent. I must have replayed that clip 5 times. Every time, it hit harder. Like all those years I thought I was doing the right thing, all those sacrifices, meant nothing. He didn't see me as someone who helped, just someone who got in my own way. That night, I pulled out an old notebook from the drawer. I just started writing. Not because I had a plan. I didn't. I just needed to see the truth on paper. I made a list. Not of what he did wrong.
Just what I did right.
What I gave up. What I let slide. Every favor. Every job I turned down. Every time I said yes when I should have said no. At the top of the page, I wrote, "He doesn't owe me anything." Because that's what I kept telling myself. That family means you don't keep score. But then under it, I wrote, "I don't owe him silence." And that's when things started to shift. I stared at that notebook for a long time. He doesn't owe me anything. I don't owe him silence. I kept reading those 2 lines over and over. It felt like something cracked open in my head. Like I'd finally let myself say it. For years, I defended him to everyone. To our aunts who said he was lazy. To my ex who said he was using me. Even to myself, when things didn't make sense. But that voice note? That cut something loose in me I didn't even know was still hanging on. So I kept writing. I filled 2 full pages that night. Then I did something I hadn't done in years. I called our mom. We hadn't really talked in a long time. She left when I was 18. Said she couldn't do it anymore. I hated her for that, for a long time. But that night, I just wanted to know. She picked up on the 3rd ring. Sounded surprised to hear from me.
Hey, she said, quiet.
Is everything okay? I didn't sugarcoat it. I told her what he posted, what he said in the voice note, what I'd given up. She listened, didn't interrupt, just let me talk. When I finished, there was a long silence. Then she said, he said the same thing to me. I froze. She told me he reached out a few months ago, said he was ready to forgive her, but only if she admitted everything was her fault and said she owed him for the life he didn't have. I told him I was sorry, she said, but I also told him I didn't leave him. I left your father, and he stayed because he knew you'd catch him. That hit hard, because it was true. Our dad didn't do anything when she left, just sort of collapsed into himself. I was the one who kept things running. Groceries, school meetings,
Rent.
and my brother? He just coasted through it all. Everyone told me he was just a kid. And he was.
But so was I.
After I hung up with her, I sat on the edge of my bed and stared at my phone. I clicked back to his Instagram. The comments were still pouring in.
More likes.
More applause. I felt sick.
So I posted something.
Not a response. Not a fight. Just a photo. An old one. From the day he graduated high school. He's smiling, arms around me. I look exhausted in that picture. I'd worked a double shift the night before and barely made it to the ceremony. Caption. I didn't get here alone. And I'm done pretending he did. I didn't tag him. Didn't mention his name. But he knew. Because 20 minutes later, he sent another voice note. Only this time, he was angry. You're trying to make me look bad, he said. You're jealous. You want credit for being a doormat? That's on you. I never asked for your help. That was the first time he said it outright. I never asked for your help. I sat there, staring at the wall, as that sank in. He was right. He never did ask. He just expected it. And I gave it. Over and over.
So maybe that's on me. But now?
Now I was done. That was the night I started saying no. The next morning, I woke up to 4 missed calls from my aunt and niece. That was odd. We didn't talk much outside of birthdays or holidays. But I knew right away it had something to do with that post. I let it go to voicemail. I wasn't in the mood. Then my phone buzzed again, text this time. What did you post about your brother? He's here. He's upset. Says you're trying to ruin him. That's when I knew he'd gone to her. Of course he had. He was always good at playing hurt. Ever since we were kids, he knew how to make people take his side.
The baby.
The survivor. The one who rose above it all. And me? I was just the angry one. Aunt Denise had always treated him like a golden child. Gave him money, let him crash at her place when he needed space. She once told me I was too hard on him. Said I needed to let him grow. I called her back. She answered immediately. What's going on? She asked, not unkindly, but definitely with a tone. He came here in tears. I almost laughed. He's 31, I said. You think I made him cry? She hesitated. He said you're dragging his name online. People are messaging him about your post. I didn't argue. I just told her the truth. I raised him, Denise. Not Dad.
Not you. Me.
He's not self-made. He was carried. She got quiet. I know you helped, she finally said. But you're his brother, not his father. And that's when something hit me harder than I expected. I didn't get to be either, I said. Not a brother. Not a student. Not a husband. I gave all of that up.
She didn't respond.
2 days passed. Then, another twist. My boss pulled me into his office. He looked uncomfortable, like he didn't want to be having the conversation. Got a call from someone claiming you've been posting slander about a family member, he said. Normally I wouldn't care, but it was pretty aggressive. Mentioned you by name. I knew exactly who it was. He said you were unstable. That you'd been harassing him, he added. I almost laughed. Is that what he said? The boss shrugged. I believe you. But keep it off social media. I can't have HR getting involved. After work, I checked my brother's account again. He'd posted a new picture, this time a video, actually. Him sitting on a patio somewhere, drinking, laughing with a few people. In the comments, someone wrote, "Your brother's out here throwing shade." He replied, "Some people only matter when they're needed. Once you stop needing them, they fall apart." That was when I realized this wasn't just about pride. He wanted to erase me, rebuild his image without the parts that made him look weak. That included me. So, I did something I never thought I would. I messaged his old high school teacher, Mrs. Ellerby, the one who always checked in on him when he was falling behind. She'd stayed in touch with me through the years. I told her what was happening. Sent her the voice notes, the posts. Not to gossip, just because I needed someone who'd been there to hear it. She responded that night, "You kept that family together. Don't let him rewrite it now." That's when I decided I wasn't going to stay silent anymore. So, I stopped defending him. I stopped cleaning up behind him. I let people think whatever they wanted. Because if being the villain in his story finally sets me free in mine, then maybe that's what I always was to him anyway. And if he ever does thank me one day, it'll be too late, because now I finally know what it cost me to keep saving someone who is never drowning.